Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today on this video, let's talk chatterbaits, and more specifically, let's talk about chatterbait trailers, because to me, fishing a chatterbait isn't about just the chatterbait, but it's also about the entire system, which includes the trailers that are just plentiful on the market. You not only have, dozens of different options as far as chatterbaits, but you got a ton of trailers that you can use with them. Really, virtually any soft plastic of any design you can use with a chatterbait under certain circumstances. However, I'm a big fan of keeping things simple. That's one thing that I like to really encourage people to do is keep it simple. Kind of reducing the noise, the clutter in your tackle box or in your boat is a big deal, because the faster you can make decisions on the fly, the better. And really, I don't think that you need all of the different baits. I know I'm somebody that has this big bait wall here. But really, honestly, there's only like 10% of the tackle that I have that I actually use on a regular basis on tour. So I'm still prepared for everything, but I really like to keep things simple and just choose a few things. So what I wanted to do in this video is to talk about the trailers that I generally reach for 95% of the time when I'm chatterbait fishing. And those are generally going to be some type of bait fish profile trailer. There's a lot of people that throw crawfish style, trailers on their chatterbait, or something that's a little bit more open-ended as far as like what it's imitating, kind of like the Z-Man goat. This is technically considered a grub. I think it's almost like a beaver style bait with some kicking feet on there. I do use this as a chatterbait trailer sometimes, especially if I'm trying to imitate crawfish. But I would say it's only like 5% of the time that I reach for this, because the rest of the time I'm really trying to just imitate bluegill and shad or some other type of bait fish like that. So that's what we're going to talk about, is those bait fish profile trailers that most people are going to be using on a chatterbait, and you really can't go wrong with. And really, there's two different styles of these bait fish profile trailers that I use. All right, so let's start with the boot style swim bait. The main thing that a boot style swim bait does is it has that tail on there that creates extra movement and vibration. And a fish uses lateral line, especially in dirty water and low visibility situations, to be able to find and attack your bait. And that's when I like to use a boot style swim bait. It's really primarily when I'm fishing ultra shallow water, because there's a lot more drag and it wants to pull that bait up to the surface more, but also in the dirtier water scenarios where I'm not worried about the bait having a big hunting action, because a swim bait trailer like this that has, that has that amount of drag is going to dampen that erratic hunting action that a chatterbait like the jackhammer or the Evo has. And so you'll notice if you fish a swim bait trailer on a chatterbait, there's going to be less side to side erratic motion than a straight tail segmented trailer, just because there's more drag. But that's not necessarily a bad thing in dirty water. I don't think that a hunting action is all that necessary in the dirty water in low visibility situations. What you want is more vibration, so the fish is picking it up through their lateral line. Okay, so dirtier water, low visibility, shallow water, that's when I like to throw the swim bait trailer. In clear water, when I'm trying to dig a little bit deeper, or I'm yo-yoing a bait, and when I want that hunting action, those are all situations where I want to throw the segmented style of trailer. All right, so like the chatter spike, the chatter shad, or the razor shad. These are great trailers for those type of situations. So, if I'm trying to get the bait deeper, these baits, they don't have that type of drag. They don't have that tail that's pulling that bait to the surface. You can dig these baits down a little bit deeper without upsizing, the weight of your chatterbait. Also, they have a good glide. They allow the chatterbait to have a little bit more of a horizontal glide on the fall. So to me, they're a great choice for when you're yo-yoing a chatterbait off the bottom or through grass or something like that. Also, because of the lack of drag, they really do allow you to have a nice erratic action. If that chatterbait is designed in such a way that it has that inherent erratic hunting action, this is only going to allow that bait to have that hunting action, because it doesn't have that drag that's kind of, keeping it tracking straight like a boot style swim bait tends to do. And so I really like these type of trailers in the clearest water where visual hunting is primarily what those fish are doing. They're using their sense of sight to track a bait and attack that bait. So anyways, I hope you guys this kind of helped you kind of figure out which trailers you want to use, which designs. I'll be honest, all three of these jointed straight tail trailers are really good. I've been experimenting with them. Obviously the razor shads I've been using for a long time, but both the Chatterspike and the Chattershad, really good. I tend to think that the Chatterspike is the best deep water trailer out of these three, just because it has even less, to create drag. But if I'm fishing shallower, clearer water, something like that, the Chattershad seems to be a really good choice, as well as the razor shad. But honestly, the differences are pretty small. At least that's what I've found so far. So any three of these will work perfect for all the scenarios that I've mentioned before. So for the sake of not rambling on and on anymore, I'm just going to go ahead and close it with that. But I will mention that all the products that I talked about today in this video are going to be in the description below. I've got those little tackle warehouse links. And if you're looking to purchase any of these products that I talked about, that's a great way to do it, because those links will take you directly there. You don't have to look for them, and it also helps support the channel. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate the views, and I'm going to see you out on the water. Make sure you trust the process.